Hey everyone, and we're live. My name is Jennifer Passavant. I am a holistic alchemical healer, and this is my dear friend Bonnie Burd. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell people about who you are and what you do, Bonnie. Bonnie froze, so I will tell people who
Hi,
I am.
I'm Bonnie
You are.
Burd. I'm a wellness practitioner. I am, oh, and I do, I teach Reiki and I do Akashic reads and um, ascension classes, the flow of life energy, and that's pretty much it. Hi, everybody.
Pretty much it. She does metaphysical hypnosis, and so she helps regress you. It's a quantum regression therapy where she helps you heal through healing through your by accessing your own Akashic records. And she also does light language, which we're going to experience some of today. She also facilitates meditations. She teaches animal Reiki. She teaches Usui Reiki. She does every friggin' thing. She's amazing. Okay, so
Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
my name is Jennifer Passavant. As I said, I am a holistic alchemical healer. So that means that I am an intuitive spiritual life coach. I also am a holistic and nutrition practitioner and consultant, but I also do energy healing by channeling a seraph angel as well as the ascended master Kuan Yin. And they come into the back of my heart chakra. They send their respective energies through my hands, and we work on your etheric body and your chakras. We pick up on things that are not only stuck from the past, but also currently impacting you. And once we kind of get to the core wounds of the problems, then from there we teach tools and techniques to help you overcome those issues and challenges. So that's who we are. And we've got a few things. Sometimes we don't always know what we're going to talk about until we, like, a couple days before. It's like, well, I've had this experience and that experience. Well, let's just talk about that. So we don't always put that in the description because we have no idea necessarily what we're going to talk about. But we've got a couple things that we thought about today. And one of them is the eclipse, and how we're kind of already starting to feel the eclipse energies and feeling that sense of, oh my God, change is coming. But also we wanted to talk about Archangel Metatron. And from there, it'll probably spin off and go in a bunch of different directions. But those are the two things that we really wanted to bring up today. And then, of course, we'll have the energy healing and the light language and the meditation. But please feel free to put, comments and questions in the live chat. And just join the conversation because that's what makes it fun. So
Absolutely.
we're sharing stuff live. We're sharing
Yeah,
stuff. We're looking at our screens because we're
I'm just,
sharing this
yeah,
live.
yeah, that's what I was doing.
That's what I'm about to do too. Anyway, we're really happy to be here with you all and to be sharing this stuff. And to have you join us for this. I just think this is so much fun when we can get together and talk about these things and explore these topics. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think I got done what I was going to share.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here. And there's, we're just like anybody else. We go through things and we talk about things we're going through. And then we just kind of say, let's get on and talk to people, everyone about what they're experiencing. Because we know that if we're experiencing it, that everyone else is in some level experiencing whatever it is. And so, today we thought we would come on and talk about a few subjects that's been going around, and uh, and the eclipse is number one. What did you want to say about the eclipse, or did you finish what you were doing yet?
No, I figure I was just mentioning that we were going to talk about it, but for me, I'm already kind of feeling it because I can't friggin' sleep. I feel like my finger is stuck in a light socket, so I feel like I can't sleep very well, and I'm just laying there wide awake. That's with valerian root. That's and it's awful, really frustrating. And so there's this sense of like excitement and anticipation, as well as like the anxiousness of the unknown, because eclipses and like Uranus is doing something too astrologically. Don't ask me what, but this is doing something. And so there is this air of like unknown. Like there are things that are going to happen that you can't expect. So there's just like, oh, what's going to happen? But you can feel the energy in the air.
Right, exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
Tammy's here. Thanks for joining us, Tammy. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I've been doing the same thing, but I mean, I've been sleeping, but
Lucky.
I wake up it all up, I wake up and I'm like wide awake and my brain's just a going and I'm like, geez, I'm just trying to get some rest here, and very thirsty, very moody, very like, feeling like you got to do something, but you don't know what it is, You're
Oh my
forgetting
God,
something
yes.
really important.
Yes. Speaking of thirsty, yeah, yesterday when I was at work, I had my first liter of water by like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I
I'm
was
not
like, wow, I
surprised.
am thirsty today. I couldn't get enough water in me. And I couldn't explain it, but I think you're right. It's the moon. Duh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
It's the
moon.
eclipse. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then people around you being short-tempered and or emotional, going up and down, and then you're like, boy, I didn't do that, I don't understand that one, You're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like
Mm-hmm. Like,
that's a
yikes.
big, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But the most everyone that happened with ended up coming back later going, I don't know what that was. I just felt really anxious. Suddenly I just blurted that out, and I'm like, yeah, I get what it is. It's the energies. And the Schumann's been off the chart on and off too. So that
Yeah.
causes a lot of energy and a lot of like sticking your finger in a light socket. For
That's a
sure.
good point. That's a good point about the Schumann because we just had not last night, but I think the night prior, or maybe it was Wednesday night, we were hit with a geomagnetic storm, and that makes the Schumann, the amplitude, not the frequency, but it makes the amplitude go. And
Yeah.
then I was just watching because I watch Space Weather News to kind of keep up on that, and we're expecting another one tomorrow. And then there's like a proton influx. Go watch Space Weather News. I'm probably not explaining this right. We're being
Yeah.
hit with stuff is the meat and taters of the yes, you're exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, left and right. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what's been, so people are confused about their emotions and stuff, but what really helps is to just get outside, get into nature, do some meditation, drink more water,
Mm,
even though we're almost turning into water babies. You definitely need more water because with all that energy going through our systems, we need the water and, eat light, try not to eat heavy.
mm,
Um, just move your body, literally, just move your
yes.
body. Because I find when I can't sleep, if I just get up and move around for a little bit, do a few things, then I go and lay back down and I'm okay.
Yeah.
Um, but if you're not feeling like you're wide enough awake to do that, then just try a meditation, put a meditation in, and just try to relax and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, this is some of the things that I do whenever I'm having um, difficulty with all the energies and all that. Um, but maybe sometimes it's not, you just excited and you feel happy and it's like Christmas energy and you're not sure where you want to go next.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
Well, and
figure out
sometimes
what it is you're going to do.
it's the Christmas energy because you don't know what you're going to get too. Like it's the
Yeah.
unknown Christmas energy.
Yeah. And you're all excited and you're like, what is this? And then the
Yeah.
next thing you know, you run into somebody who it's experiencing the energy in a different way and you're all grumpy and grouchy and you're like, quit raining on my parade here.
Well, and I'm a big fan of astrology, so I'm listening to like Molly McCord and Pam Gregory and Heather Ensworth and who's the other one that I like? Um, Lunatic Astrology, and they're all going. Well, there's another one. Most of those, except for Lunatic, they don't do like sign specific. But Joni Patry, she does Vedic astrology, and so they're all saying, yeah, for Capricorns, or I guess for me in Vedic, it's Sagittarius. You might experience a move, or you might work overseas, or it might even be online, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, sign me up, sign
Yeah,
me up, yes
yeah.
please, yes have some. So I'm like, is that really going to happen? Oh my God, is it what's going to happen? Is it what? It's a sense of, you know?
Well, if you start to manifest it, it will happen. If you choose one or all and see yourself doing all that, you will
Well,
get there.
I was already told I was supposed to do it years ago, but it hasn't
Yeah,
happened yet. And so I was kind of the mindset of just release and allow and let it unfold. But that was like 12 years ago. So at this point, I've been kind of like, I don't know, is it going to happen? Maybe the timeline's shifted. I don't know. But now all the astrology is going, you're going to move, you're going to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, holy crap.
it's
Okay.
happening. Yeah,
So I don't know.
happening.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to, jinx anything. I don't want to make any assumptions, but let's hope.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, and also the here in Michigan, it getting cold all of a sudden. Everybody's dealing with the achy bones and the joints
Oh, yeah.
and oh, that the when your body shifts to a different weather, you're
Oh,
always trying to acclimate to that. And
yes.
so and then also it's the letting go of this the summer and feeling kind of sad because you're going to go into the winter months and the cold. Yeah.
Fall
So I really
depression. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
come
I know.
on.
But then you got the other people that fall just makes them excited and they're running around doing Halloween. Well, our family is like that. They're Halloween crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so they are running around all excited about it. And it's not that I don't like fall and I don't, I think it's fun that all the family related stuff that happens around Halloween. But I just love the summer better. I just feel more energized and happier in the summer when you know, it's just,
I do
and
too.
so we're gearing into that shift. So we're all kind of like, digging out our closets, starting to get out warmer clothes. Yeah. And then we're just
Yeah.
kind of like, uh, we have to commit to it eventually. I'm still wearing my capris, but
Yeah.
it's probably too cold for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I much prefer the energy of summer too. It like you, it makes me energized. I love the longer days. I love sitting outside in the warmth, drinking my coffee. I love kind of being a little sweaty. I love that my body hurts less. I have fewer so in the summer in my day job we work fewer days, so I've got more personal time and I just love it. And then now it's like uh so it, uh. And everybody's getting sick now because all the kids are going back to school with the seasonal change, which has a. Oh, Rachel says, you have so much light, Bonnie Bird. This is Rachel Freya. I'm assuming you know
Oh,
who.
hi, Rachel. Thank
Um,
you.
but everybody's getting sick because everybody's going back to school and they're catching each other's germs, and then our immune systems are going out of whack because of the seasonal change. And so now it just we're ripe for all kinds of illnesses. So it's like you've got to drink your water, you've got to sleep well, you've got to eat right, you've got to take your probiotics, you got to blah 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 blah. So
You have to take
anyway,
care of yourself, you
yeah.
know.
But you were saying with the eclipse though about drinking lots of water and eating light, and that's what you're yes, that's exactly what I'm feeling guided to do, because it's like when you've basically got your finger stuck in a light socket, you've got to give that energy something to how do you okay, that's a good way of putting it. You've got to give that energy like a clean channel to run through, like a clean wire to run through. And that means water. That means not being bogged down trying to digest heavy things. And that means that your nervous system is regulated, because it's going to go on your nervous system anyway. So
Exactly.
just take care of
Exactly.
yourselves, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, that's the key,
Yeah.
taking care of yourself, and and don't be so hard on yourself if you do
Mhm.
have an emotional outburst, or if something happens and it doesn't go your way and you're not so kind about it. We're all human beings.
Mhm.
We have um the good thing about all of it is, though, we have the tools to we take out our tools and we do what's necessary to bring our energy back up once we do something like that.
Yeah.
So um and the biggest thing is taking care of yourself and getting outside in nature, getting
Yeah.
grounded, and doing your meditation. That's all the
Hmm.
best, all that you can do, really.
Drink your
Drink
water.
water
Oh
and
my God.
eat
And eat,
light.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
I just gonna say. Nope, lost it. There's gonna be something. Anyway, I do want to ask though, for Tammy and Rachel, anybody else watching, are you feeling the eclipse yet? Like, can you feel the energy? Because it's this afternoon. Like, I've been feeling it since like wet Tuesday or Wednesday at least. Probably a little before that. Well, no, that's not true because I couldn't sleep over the weekend either. So, yeah, probably since probably last weekend. So let us know if Rachel says yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we, like we said in the beginning, we don't usually necessarily know what we're going to talk about until like the day of. And so one of the other things that's been coming up for us that we thought, all right, well, let's just talk about it, is Metatron, the
Yeah.
Archangel Metatron. Oh, Tammy says yes, for sure. Soup weather, absolutely. Yes, soup. I've already had my first freaking can of soup. What? Eh. Was it good?
Yeah.
Yes.
I,
Do
well,
I
I'm gonna
want it
make
to be
some
cold
too.
enough? No.
And you got to make chili and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Metatron. So
Yeah.
this is not new stuff, but it seems to be coming back up, is people going around saying not to trust Metatron because Metatron is false light and so is evil and it's a trap. And we really want to address this because you have to be discerning and look at where that perspective is coming from, why that perspective is being received by them and then regurgitated. And how shall I say this? The intention behind it, whether the person is consciously aware of the intention behind it or not. So, Bonnie, I'm going to let you take it from here, and then I'll tack on my 2 cents.
Okay. Well, I do Akashic records, and I have been working with Metatron for years because Metatron is in charge of our human Akashic records, and he opens them, and I've only ever felt love and light and guidance. And what I've found too is that, what I've read about Metatron is he not only works with the Akashic records, because he is one of the humans that had ascended. Enoch also works with him. Uh,
Enoch is
um,
Metatron.
yeah, Enoch and
Yeah.
Metatron is Metatron. But I was Sandalphon is who I meant to say,
Oh,
is
Sandalphon
also
is,
the other
yeah,
human
yeah.
who ascended, and he closes the records. In my case, I don't know how anybody else do records, but when I was taught to do them, with Joshua and all of my guides, that's the way they taught me to do it. And they have never done anything to harm anyone. They've only done loving things. They've only healed. All the years that I've been working, uh, that's all I've gotten was a loving feedback and healings for everyone that's ever been a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not, what I know about Metatron is he's also a part of the ascension grids. He helped write because he's human and he's done this in the human body. So he's helped write the ascension grids to help humans do the same, what we're doing right now. He also, his cube is a healing, it's all it incorporates the flower of life, all of everything that we need to heal. And I've heard even that his cube, it fools you, and it's not really energizing and helping you, that it's actually taking your energy, which is
Doesn't make sense.
would be demonic, and
Yeah.
that's definitely not anything that he would ever do.
No,
And I've never felt that.
no.
And what was the other things that I knew about him, that um, he's associated with the crown, so he helps you connect to your higher self
Mm-hmm.
and helps you adjust, does the attunements, does the adjustments so that you can be more connected to your God self. So everything that I know about him couldn't be any of what people say.
Yeah.
Um, um, he's just there to help you ascend and to help you do attunements and to heal and to help you with past, present, future, because he helps with the records. So,
Mhm.
that's my take on it. But I personally have never experienced anything negative.
No. So, and I just saw Steve Nobel. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Steve Nobel. He works with Metatron quite a lot. He does really good guided meditations and things like that. And he's being attacked by what I would refer to as New Age dogmatic fundamentalists who buy into that fear based. I'm going to say it's fear-based false light rhetoric. But the irony is that the people that spout this rhetoric refer to Metatron as false light. But that's really just a projection of the teaching that Metatron is evil and that Metatron is a false light. And so I'm going to kind of repeat a little bit of what Bonnie said to kind of put my understanding of it. So my understanding also is that Metatron is who Enoch was, and that God's source spirit deemed Enoch worthy of being someone who was worthy of automatically being put up at archangel status to be the person who writes the Akashic records and records, all of everything. And that Sandalphon, who was Ezekiel, is the only other human who's been made into an archangel, who achieved that level of ascension from being a human being to then achieving that degree of ascensionhood, which is the degree of ascension that we're all working towards. And that, yes, Metatron rules not only the crown chakra, but when we cast a circle, so anyone who does any sort of magical anything, if you're using gray, heart-centered Christic magic, we typically call the circles by calling on the archangels. So where most people start in the east, but that's not typical, where Raphael is the east, Archangel Michael is the south, Archangel Gabriel is the north, and of course I'm doing this because this is how my room's oriented. Archangel Uriel is the north, and then you go above and below, and above would be Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Sandalphon is basically Archangel Sandalphon, if you're using the chakras, would relate to the Earth Star chakra or the root chakra, whereas Metatron would be like the Soul Star chakra and the Crown chakra. So, so their balances out. They balance each other out, and this has been going on for a very long time in terms of calling on these beings in order.
Can I add one thing that I forgot to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
You reminded me when you said that, with Sandalphon on the top and Metatron on the top, they're responsible to help you with your energy, your what do you call your for some reason it's not coming to me. They're responsible to help you run your energy, your pillar of light.
Yes,
they help you run it, and so they're yeah. And so that's what I forgot to say. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because if you, for the viewers who don't know what the chakras look like from a side view, people, usually chakras are only depicted from the front, and you see this circle, and so people kind of get in their heads that a chakra just looks like a disc. That is not accurate. So from the side view, they look like trumpets. They look like cones that stem out from your central channel, except for the crown chakra and the root chakra, where the crown chakra comes out from the top like this, and it's like a funnel into the top of your head, and the root chakra comes out from the bottom, from your perineum, basically, and again looks like a funnel coming out of that. And between those two is the central channel, to which the other chakras, front and back, are attached. So they rule energy not only coming down from source into your central channel, which then those energies are dispersed into your chakras, your meridians, blah, 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 et cetera, and down into earth, plus earth energy coming up and into those same systems. So they play a very different role. And so where where, as I understand it, because to me it kind of doesn't make logical sense, so I'm going to kind of try to, I'm speculating as to my understanding, or how I'm kind of, sharing my interpretation of why this misinterpretation or this misunderstanding and this I would say false light teaching is being perpetuated from, is that they do, how shall I say, they help us with the way our energies need to run in a physical body. But having a physical body, from their perspective, is bad. So, and there's also a geometrical perspective, because obviously sacred geometry makes up all things. I almost did the same thing. Sacred geometry helps form what we consider to be reality. And reality is, in essence, not reality. It's the Maya, it's the illusion, it's the divine hologram. Other people would refer to it as a simulation. I actively avoid using that term because I don't want to use any language that equates our divine organic experience with anything artificial, synthetic, technological, or mechanical. So I actively avoid that language. So, but we do exist in this physical realm, is the Maya, it is the illusion, it's a divine hologram. But if you deem this realm evil, then that would make Archangel Metatron and his helping us experience the physical illusion in a physical body also evil. But that's an unhealed false light escapist. It is literally false light, because Lucifer is the false light, and Luciferic energy rules the upper three chakras. And so it the imbalance of the Luciferic impulse, when it's not in balance, is escapism. So escaping out of the physical realm. And it's escapism, like I'm going to escape into just be in meditation all the time. It's spiritual ego. It is scientific dogmatism. It is spiritual dogmatism, whether it's new age or religious. And that defines this bizarre perspective of Metatron is evil because being in a physical body in this physical realm is evil. It's a trap, blah, blah, blah. It's not a trap. We agreed to experience this. Like, we
Can I
chose.
say something?
Please. Yes.
Well, if there's any teaching that's teaching you to go outside of your body, then you're not ascending, because everything happens within.
Yes.
In the heart, within the human body, within the system. And so whenever you're looking outside of yourself, because like people get really messed up with the aliens and all that stuff, when you're looking for something on the outside of yourself, that's when you're not paying attention to your inner God, your spark, your Christ, your Holy Christos, your Holy Spirit. You're not honoring that. And so, because it's your spark of God that's connected to your higher self, which is God,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to focus on. And so in order to get that amplify that, you need to work with your crown and being able to run the energy the way you need to run it, because you're not only running the energy through and it's spilling out around you, you're also your all of your chakras are helping the rest of the people, because you're bringing in energy that needs to be cleared and cleansed, and then you're sending out light. And so you're an amplifier of God's love. And if you're not focusing on God's love, if you're not focusing on where it comes from, everything is within. All of your answers, everything you need is all within,
Mm-hmm.
not outside of yourself. That's when you're getting lost into all of the rhetoric, and everybody trying to make you afraid and tell you that you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't trust this, or you shouldn't trust that. So if something comes to you and it makes you afraid, or if they lie, if it feels lower energy, if it feels dense, it's not of God, period.
Mm-hmm.
There's no if and or so it's easy to discern it if you sit back and think about it. if you step back and think about, all the things that Metatron, Archangel Metatron is responsible for, and Sandalphon, how in the world could there be something that would be demonic or um, that would harm you?
Yeah.
It's because they teach, all of their teaching is going within, and they're not teaching you to just trust them. They want you to get your own answers.
Yeah.
So unless somebody's trying to tell you that um, it isn't all within, then it's a red flag. You should immediately say, hey, um, what's happening here is not what I'm here for. I'm here to hold the light, to
Yeah.
ground it into the mother, to connect it to the heavens, and to send it out to the masses, and then help the masses clear up what they don't understand. And so that's what we're here for. And then we're not here to grab everybody and tell them that they have to do anything. We just have to be us, heal ourselves, do what we need to do to heal. And then if we share information, it's okay, but also what you can't make someone understand something that their consciousness hasn't reached yet. So you can plant seeds everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they'll come to you and say, hey, what is it that what was it you were talking about? Or that kind of didn't make sense to me a year ago, but right now that makes a lot of sense to me. Can you explain that to me? And that's when you know that you can begin to tell them everything that you know, but you never go to someone, you let them come to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's funny. That actually touches on a post I just made, and someone commented. It was a video that I put on YouTube and TikTok about exactly that. I want to get back to the Metatron thing though, so I'm going to keep this really, really quick about how it's not our responsibility to proselytize our personal perspectives onto others, A, unsolicited, and B, in such a way that is dogmatic, meaning my perspective and my belief is the only one true right perspective and belief. And if you believe something different, you're wrong.
Right.
That's proselytizing. That's dogmatic. And so it's not our job to wake people up. It's our responsibility to wake ourselves up. And if other people, we can share our truth, but our truth is our truth. It's not the truth. And when someone is coming at you saying, you're wrong, my truth is right, like, you're wrong, Metatron is the false light and he's evil and blah, 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 you're wrong. That in and of itself, that is dogmatic. That is proselytizing.
Right. So pretty much all we're doing today is we're sharing our experience,
Yes,
our
that's
truth, and
our
then you decide what it is you believe after that.
Yes, we're not supposed to wake other people up. We're supposed to wake ourselves up and then be an example. The end.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone, like Bonnie said, if someone is curious and they come to you wanting to know more, so great, so be it. Share your truth from a perspective of humility and with the understanding that your truth is subjective.
Also tell them to look for their own truth, because
Yeah.
like whenever I teach a class, I always say, take what resonates with your heart, but if it doesn't resonate with your heart, throw it out. It's not
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
It may resonate with me, but it just doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay.
Yeah. So back to Metatron. So the meat and taters is the Metatron is evil dogmatism is going hand in hand with the dogmatism of being in a physical body and in a third density reality is also evil, and that we're trapped here and we have to escape this trap. This is not a subjective opinion. This is if you understand how Luciferianism and the impulse of Lucifer is expressed. Hold on, sorry, there's a comment. I'll get to that in a second. We're actually not going to respond to that comment because we have no idea when your checks are going to come in. I'm not the bank, so I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. We're not banks, so we don't know. Call your bank, find that out. Anyway, that alone is very fear-based. The teaching that being in a physical body is evil and we need to escape. That is the definition of the Luciferic impulse. So that's like, if you study the Ahrimanic and the Luciferic impulses from a theosophistic and anthroposophic, yeah, I said that right, okay, perspective, that fits the Luciferic under like perspective. That's escapism, to escape the physical body, and doing it in a fear-based way and claiming that we're trapped, as if our higher selves and our souls didn't choose to come here and have this experience of lowering in density into a third density, and then experiencing the like the descension process and then the ascension process. We chose this. We agreed to be here through this. Are there beings that how shall I say, are there lower vibrational beings that are part and parcel to the experience of duality and dark and light, how shall I say, and the experience of being in the physical realm? Sorry, I had to receive that. Absolutely. But it's a part of the experience. There's nothing that isn't God. God made everything, all of it. And so when you make one aspect of it evil, you make it all evil. And you've just made it all evil. So it's all about a discernment, but also understanding the purposes that all of these impulses serve when they are expressing themselves in a balanced way and when they're expressing themselves in an imbalanced way, and just having that objective discernment. Don't place judgment on it. Don't go, oh, well, then that's evil and that's good. Just, it is what it is. That's imbalanced. That's balanced. I understand that. I'm able to observe that. And don't attach any kind of emotion to it, because that's how you navigate. And unity consciousness comes from that middle path, that Christic path in here, where the Luciferic impulse is up here and is your right hand, the right side of the body, and the Ahrimanic or Satanic impulses are the lower three chakras and the left hand path, the left side of your body. There are good and bad aspects to both of those things. The only one that is truly non-dualistic, non-polarized is the Christic impulse in the heart. That's it. And when you come from the Christ consciousness, and which is also known as unified consciousness, because you've unified your polarities, and so you're balancing these polarities in Christ, in love, in your heart, you can observe things from an objective, non-judgmental perspective and more clearly discern and perceive without having an emotional reaction and without dogmatizing it and fearing it. So we're just saying, just be really mindful of these impulses, of the intentions behind the intention also being that, and Bonnie, you mentioned this before we went live, the intention being that if you are afraid of Metatron and afraid of being in a physical body and you move towards escapism, you've just fallen for the fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's to prevent ascension.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is the
if anybody's trying to create fear around your ascension path, then that's when you should really use your discernment.
Mm-hmm.
And because if they're in charge of the crown chakra and the higher self, and then Sandalphon's in charge of the root and the earth connection, where do you go from there if you decide that that's demonic?
Yep.
Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense if you just kind of think about it.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So do you want to move on to the light language and the healing, or do we have, we can wait and see if there are any questions or comments from the audience on this topic, not about
some check.
whatever on earth is going on there in the chat, the live chat. If you have questions or comments on this topic about unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, Metatron, the eclipse, or if you have any other questions about anything else that isn't about money,
That
getting money.
pertains to what we're, spirituality.
Yes,
And
that pertains to the topic that we are currently discussing. Please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we will move on to the light language, the meditation, and the energy healing. Should we go ahead and, I guess, just do that? And I guess if any questions or comments pop up in the chat that are related,
yeah, yeah, we can address them afterwards.
Okay.
Well, we didn't really talk about how we wanted to do this, so
no, we're gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it.
Yeah. Okay. So
we're gonna follow our guidance.
Well, I'll take us in and
okay, perfect. I think you're very good at that. I love that.
Do a little intro. Okay. So everybody just kind of like close your eyes and relax. Just take a deep breath. We invite all the archangels of light, all the masters of light to hold holy space for us during this healing. And I want you to bring this beautiful golden light all the way from Mother, Father, Son, from the heart of that, all the way down to your crown. Breathe it all the way down past your shoulders and just let your body relax. Everything you've been carrying around, just let it go. Take another deep breath. Send it all the way down past your knees, all the way into the earth, all the way to the heart of Mother Gaia. Then we ask for her to give us light language for healing and keys and codes of whatever it is that what people are listening to today or in the future needs for healing. So just take a deep breath, and if you choose to accept the healing, just say in your heart you do. Tu or itini ana akai shutaki ana apukori atarayatataya satapoya na ayadariatata iki atara istiki ana isitiki ana atra orpiki ana atra ipiki ana sata ana. Take a deep breath. Bringing it up to the earth chakra. Ukura itiana ashana ikikiana atatiana atutubri atat iri amiatra. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the base chakra. Utu or itiana atra apropigani atra isti iri atra ikiama otu omi atra. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the sacral or ari atra ishtekayana akayana otor itidi ikiana atra ipikiana atra. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the solar plexus. Ikiana otro ortiana asatakayana atokore pikiana atra pikiana asita ikiana atarayata. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the heart chakra. Akayana atra or tiana atra pukuria te istikemi atra atra. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the throat chakra. Or iti anatro or ti anashatakene atra pukure bihianata. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the third eye chakra. Or tini atra ashana akara atatori atra pukure iti ini itidiata. Take another deep breath. Bringing it up to the crown chakra. Ara achata ashtake in ikiana ato ori aniyatra apukori anayatra atra. Take another deep breath. We're bringing it up to our higher self chakra, our star chakra. To ori te ini atra atra ashata ani ikina ato ori iti ini atra ako mi anayatra atra apikiana. Now we're going to take another deep breath. This is a connection, a deep connection to our hearts and to our spark of God and remembering who we are. So we bring that energy all the way back down to our heart space. And we send that beautiful pink energy of sacred space out through your heart, creating sacred space for us to do our healing. And now I'm passing it on to Jennifer.
So I'm going to explain what they've been doing already since you've been doing the light language. They first started on the heart chakra. And there are people experiencing right now this opportunity to open and expand their hearts. There may be something weighing on your heart. It could be grief. It could be heartache. It could be heartbreak. It could be some sort of pain, but it's an opportunity for you to open it and expand the love of yourself and universal love, And then they immediately moved to, while they were working on the heart, though, I should say this, they kept opening the throat. So there's an aspect of your authenticity. So while the throat is also about verbal expression, it's also about being your authentic self. So it's about loving yourself authentically. And then they moved down to the back of the sacral chakra, and they were clearing off density, old wound. So the sacral chakra is where we store old unprocessed emotions, and they were clearing off unprocessed emotions from the backsides. In other words, there are experiences that you've had in the past that elicited negative emotions that you still carry with you that control how you feel about yourself and your inability to feel free to be your authentic self. So those are the things that, and I feel like this time frame, this eclipse is giving us an opportunity to drop those things. So you don't have to accept this healing if you choose to maintain though, how should I say this? If you still maintain your agreement to the programming from that wounding, then that's your choice. But you have an opportunity to drop your agreement to that wounding and experience a greater heart expansion. If you choose to drop that density and you choose to open your heart to loving yourself and loving all that you've been through and all loving yourself through the wounds, because remember, healing your wounds doesn't mean no longer having the wounds. It means you are less likely to operate from that aspect of yourself. You're still going to feel pain. You're still going to feel heartache. You're still going to feel heartbreak, but you won't respond from it. So let's just, make that abundantly clear. But this is an opportunity for you to drop some of that and open and expand your heart. The back of the throat. How can you express your authentic, healed aspect more clearly? How can you feel and love all of you, wounds and all, more fully? And how would your healed aspect respond? Now we're going to the crown. Excuse me, that's the third eye. We're going to the third eye. Right now, there's a lot on your minds, a lot on your plates. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear of the unknown, and a lot of fear about the future. But trying to overthink it. So when they put my hand like this, they're telling me that there's something impacting you right now. So trying to overthink something and trying to think your way through it and analyze it and figure it out for yourself is blocking your blessing. It's blocking the divine's ability to communicate to you and through you. It's blocking your guidance. So if you can kind of shut your brain up and instead of trying to think your way through it, just let go, let it go. And that way you'll be open to receiving your divine guidance, your divine inspiration, and you'll know what to do. You'll know how to respond, but you have to have the trust and the faith that you will receive those answers, so you don't have to know how to figure it out. So that's what this third eye healing is about. It's okay. So they just said it's also about trusting your own intuitive guidance. So going within, because that's where you're going to receive that divine inspiration. You're going to receive that communication with yourself. Though it might enter into through the top of your crown chakra, you might experience it as a gut feeling. If you operate more in your lower energy centers, you might feel it as I just feel like I have to do this. And you might feel it in your heart. You might experience it in your mind if you are claircognizant, but you won't have to figure this out for yourself, but you have to quiet your mind. You have to allow for faith and trust. Now they're balancing out the crown chakra and the root. Most of you are not well grounded, which means you need to not only go outside and drink more water, but they're also giving me, so being grounded also, the root chakra is also where we store our traumas. So all of our traumas are held there. So a part of being not grounded is when you are operating from your trauma and you're operating from fear and insecurity and a lack of safety, security, and a lack of support. So if you're experiencing something that is kind of, how should I say this, eliciting those feelings of I'm not safe, I'm not secure, and I'm not supported emotionally, physically, whatever it is, Look at any childhood wounding that you might have that mimics that same feeling, and how can you, what do you need to do to move forward from that? And Bonnie and I are available to help with those things. That's what we do. But that's what they want you to look at, because that's how you, will help you ground, is when you feel a sense of safety, security, and support. If you just trust in your own divine aspect, and you trust in God, and you trust in Mother Earth and the Holy Spirit, and pick your whatever names you want to call them, as long as you're trusting in those things, you will feel a sense of safety, security, and support, because you'll know that you don't need anything outside of yourself. You only need to trust your divine aspects and yourself and spirit. Those alone will give you the sense of safety and security and support that you're looking for, and that alone will ground you. But if you want to drink water, absolutely. Sleep, absolutely. But heal your wounds and attain a sense of safety, security, and support through trusting yourself and trusting in spirit. Those are their primary messages with us. And I'm going to see if there's anything else. So they're continuing to ground. They're drawing in Heavenly Father energy. They're drawing up Earthly Mother energy. They're anchoring in the heart. They're connecting it with an infinity symbol. And we ask and intend that these people, whoever it is that receive this healing, whether it's now or in the future, be infused with the highest level of holy healing, divine white light on all levels of their existence, and that they receive whatever healing, guidance, and support is for their highest and best good now. And we ask and intend that they allow themselves to receive whatever healing, guidance, and support is for their highest and best good now. Another sealing everyone's auric fields, grounding the energy. And I'm disconnecting my energies.
I have a closing of light language too.
Please go ahead.
So everybody, this is integration and grounding it in, and just a full connection to your higher self and your earth chakras. So just take a deep breath. Ti ana ara ashatanayata istiki utore iki ana akayana astokore ete ini ikiana atore itiana astakayana atore ini atara ikiana atata pikiamiata. Isitikini ata ototo aniatata itia. Take a deep breath and just relax. Let your light bodies expand, grounding it in. Beautiful red energy grounding you in. Beautiful white energy coming in, connecting you to the divine, sending it out. So then we're just going to come back into our bodies, ever so gently wiggle our fingers and toes and open our eyes. Namaste.
Whew.
Yeah. Ooh, that was fun.
That was fun. Feels like going into outer space. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. There, I had to scooch back up. I have to scooch away whenever I do energy healing because my hands will hit the mic. So how did you all feel from that? I felt hot and like I was running electricity because I'm the one doing the healing, but it felt to me like there's a collective experience of with this eclipse and these energies of really an opportunity to get into unity consciousness. That it felt like the heart energy is, yes, about self-love, but when you love yourself more fully and completely and you're more your authentic self, I feel like people are better able to operate from a sense of unity consciousness, and they are less likely to operate from, any unhealed aspect. So if that's what it feels to me, and I think that it's more nuanced than that. I think obviously everybody's got their own things that they're working through, but from a more collective perspective, that's a lot of what I felt.
Yeah, I felt the same thing. I was feeling that, the stronger you make the connection to your higher self, and the more you trust your God spark within you and your own wisdom, and stop looking outside of yourself, the stronger you become in your uh, both your physical and your energy bodies. You become the Christed unity consciousness, and that's that's I think that's the next level of where we're getting. Even though we know that Yahshua and all the angels and all that have a note that they play in the song of creation and unity, and they're all there to help and guide us, but they want us they want the toddlers to stand up and be adults and stand on their own 2 feet,
Yes.
and really understand your higher self and who you truly are inside. It's not that they aren't going to always be there to help you, but they want you to do it yourself. They
Yeah.
want you to stand in your own truth and be strong and be faithful to who you are inside, and know that you can do anything that they do. They just are the teachers and the
Yeah.
helpers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is all about.
I think you're right.
Mm.
So we have some comments. So Gary for Grace says the fifth energy center in the body is associated with communication. Actually, I'm going to show it. Here we go. The fifth energy center in the body is associated with communication, truth, and self-expression. Yes, it is. And in that, it's also the self-expression, like expressing yourself authentically. Absolutely. He says, thank you. Tammy says, namaste, felt the heart opening. Fan-friggin-tastic. And then Gary for Grace says, tingling hands, moving energy. Yeah, my hands are like on fire.
Yeah, same here. Same
Yeah,
here.
and so's my heart. I feel like my heart I used to call it bonfire heart. I've got my heart feels like it's on fire as well.
And I really felt that in the throat chakra too.
Yeah,
And
well, and they kept like going, opening my mouth, tipping my head back. When they do that, they're trying to open the throat too. So like that
I
authenticity.
felt like that, the higher heart connection,
Yeah.
it was, working on the
Like,
heart and in
yes,
between there.
bringing
And
the
when you
two
said
together.
infinity sign, that's where I saw it right there.
Yeah.
Infinity.
Yeah. It was like from source, and then it usually connects here, but it's like everything is unified, all of it.
Mhm.
Rachel says, feeling free now from what you both just did. I've been allowing rest and shifting my feelings, thoughts, and perceptions on stuff. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
That's the way to heal. I'm glad I'm glad you're doing your inner work, because a lot of people aren't.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I think that if you don't go in and focus on that right now, it's just going to get harder for you.
Yeah, for
And
sure. For sure. Bonnie, really quickly, I want to just, I was just looking, based on what we just did and how we were working with grounding into Mother Earth and bringing down Heavenly Father energy, I want to go back to Metatron for just a second. Can you do me a favor and just scooch over so that people can see the Metatron's cube that you've got behind you? Okay. So I want to point out the two triangles. So the triangle that's facing upwards is the masculine aspect. It is, and when I say masculine, I don't mean like gender, I mean energy. So like very young energy, very Shiva energy as opposed to Shakti, right? So it's very upwards moving. It's very fire and air oriented, and it's upward moving energy. Whereas this triangle is the feminine aspect. It's the earth. It's the water. It's how shall I say? I mean, there are so many symbols. I don't want to, go too much into it, but basically, that symbol is the balance of the masculine feminine. It's the alchemical marriage. It is the symbol of our Merkaba. So our lower chakras, how should I say this? Our lower three chakras are the divine feminine. They are our lower aspect. Our upper three chakras are the masculine aspect. Our heart is the middle. So that golden dot that you see in the middle that she's pointing at, that is where Christ is. That is where the unity consciousness is. That is where Christ consciousness is. That's in your heart. So when you are operating from unity consciousness, you've got both the upper pyramid triangle activated, you've got the lower triangle activated, and you are balancing them in your heart. So That is Metatron's cube right there. And I would say it's Metatron's and Sandalphon's cube, more accurately, because Sandalphon would be the lower triangle and Metatron would be the upper triangle. Those two impulses, those two energies help us to experience our lower, all of our chakras and all of our energetic aspects of our divine feminine and our divine masculine aspects. And I, again, don't mean that physical gender wise, I mean that energetically. So I just want to point that out. And we all have a Merkaba. We all have those, those seven chakras. I was going to say six, meaning the upper three and the lower three. And of course, we have the heart chakra in the middle. We all have these energies. We are not evil, so neither are those energies. They're required for our experience of duality. The masculine and the feminine, those are duality experiences that are unified and balanced in the heart. We are meant to experience the unification and the alchemical marriage, the balancing of our divine feminine and masculine aspects in our hearts. That is unity consciousness. That is Christ consciousness. That is where we're going. While this is often being misinterpreted and expressed in a much more literal and physical way, I think we can all kind of see where I'm going with this. While that's not good or bad, it's just a misunderstanding of that push to balance your energies. That's really all it is. So yes, Bonnie, let's see you again. Yes, but I just want to point that out, that's when we're talking about Metatron's cube and the upper chakras and the lower chakras and the divine feminine and divine masculine and blah, 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 blah. Metatron's cube couldn't be a more perfect symbol to express the balancing of those energies.
Exactly. And balancing in the human, it's not just the human body, it's also our light bodies.
Yes.
Balancing it all together. And a lot of people, when they start activating their Merkabas and they start seeing the little sparks of color, people see little sparks of purple, little sparks of green, that's your Merkaba activating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that what I want to say to everyone today is take all the information that we gave you, run it through your heart, and ask yourself, what is your truth? And then go with that, because only your truth is what's real and what you should be going by. Nobody else's. And so we're just speaking our truth, and that's our truth, and that's what we've been talking about today.
Yes.
And we hope that we help everybody understand and be able to discern whatever it is that they feel about this topics that we've been talking about. And even in the future, if people watch the replay and they want to put some more questions in, or they want to comment on whatever it is that they feel, that go ahead and do that, because we'll still see it. We'll be able to answer.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. So today
Bonnie,
that was
a beautiful way to close that. That was perfect. Mm-hmm. I just want to thank everyone who is participating live. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you participating. Your participation makes this fun. Like, you're why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We want you to participate in a kind and loving way. And we don't want the things that aren't on the subject on there. But other than that, we really love to talk to the audience.
Yeah.
It makes it also fun.
And, don't forget to, I hate to say this, but, please, if you want this energy healing and this light language and this conversation, if you want this to help anyone else, if you feel like other people would find it interesting or benefit from the energy healing, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. That boosts the algorithm so more people will see it. Our job, our passion is to serve others. And so the more people we can reach, the better. So again, Bonnie does private light language channeling. She offers Reiki classes, both remotely and in person. Bonnie, do you want to talk more about the services that you offer?
I also do Akashic reads for people that are, if they're holding on to something and they want to find out where it came from and want to release that. And also do flow of life energy classes that, goes in deeper on the subjects of ascension, to help you ascend, help you to understand meditation, help you to understand what your body's doing, what your chakras are doing, understanding your emotions. I'm also a hypnotherapist, so I can help you with whatever phobias, whatever things that you're having trouble with. So, if I resonate with you, then you can find me on Facebook. You can also find me I have a website too that we'll post on here.
Yeah, all the links are in the
Instagram.
description. Yeah, so if you go to the description, we've got all of our links to everything there. And again, I am a holistic alchemical healer, and I say I'm holistic because I do intuitive spiritual life coaching, and I call it intuitive spiritual life coaching because it's not quite like a cold psychic reading. It's always, for me, it's always been very conversational, where when you start talking, I start getting guidance and information. But they taught me to say whatever I need to say, but if it's an awareness that you need to come to, they've taught me to put it in the form of a question so that you will come to the awareness without it being spoon-fed, and that empowers you more. So that's why I don't like calling it like a psychic reading. It's much more conversational than that, but they really like to stick to the more challenging matters. What are your childhood wounds that you're not able to overcome? What are your blind spots? Everybody has blind spots. What are your relationship challenges? What are your work challenges? What are your challenges? Because we meaning the beings that we work with, like to work on the things that are most challenging for you to overcome. I'm also a holistic health practitioner and a nutritional and health and wellness consultant. I say the certification is a coach, but I say consultant because I do actually make recommendations and suggestions. And when you're a coach, you can't do that. So I say I'm a consultant, but that way you can also heal your body, because our bodies are going to need to be more in alignment, especially with our nervous systems, as we move forward, or we're going to be much more susceptible to some of the more negative impacts of the increasing energies. And then I do my energy healing, where I channel an ascended master named Kuan Yin, the goddess Kuan Yin, as well as a seraph angel named Ian. And they use their respective energies to work through the back of my heart chakra, sent through my hands to work on your chakras, your etheric body, your causal body, blah, 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 et cetera, to help get the energetic ball rolling in terms of healing those things from an energetic perspective. But that session is always paired with then life coaching afterwards, because if you don't change the subconscious programming that caused that imbalance, those energies will go right back to the way they were in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So if any energy healer just runs energy healing and makes big promises that you're going to be healed forever, run.
Yeah, because you still have to do the work. You feel better in the moment, but you still have to do, because what I love about Jennifer, because she's helped me through a lot of things when I've gone through some health issues and stuff, and that she will help you realize, you come to the conclusion. She's not telling you anything. You find it within your own heart. And I love that her guides work with her in that way, because with the Akashic records, that's how it is with me too, because you come to the conclusion. Mm-hmm. I never tell you. I'm not someone that just writes out the Akashic records. We experience it together, and you come to that conclusion. And I think that's why we pair so easily, and we can work together so easily, because our guides kind of like complement. Like today when we did our meditation, we didn't know what we were going to do, and it just we complemented each other. So we just are blessed to know each other and work together. And she's an amazing healer. And so, yeah, look her up if you really need to do some coaching or energy work.
Likewise. It's funny. I was going to chime in and be like, Bonnie, you do the same thing with your Akashic records, or Akashic record regressions, because you don't. So you took the words right out of my mouth.
Right. We both, we're both life coaches. So we always, it ends up doing some coaching at the end,
Always.
Yeah.
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone. Thank you for being here. Happy eclipse. Hey, Hero, have you been here this whole time? Thank you. Happy eclipse to you too.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're gonna get the heck out of Dodge here and go have lunch and enjoy the rest of our days. And
Yeah.
join us again for the next live. So don't forget to
Yeah.
like, share, subscribe, visit our Facebook pages and follow us there so you can see when we're going to do the next update as well, or any posts that we have. But we're just so glad for you to be here, and we just love this. All right, thanks again,
Yeah.
and
Namaste.
namaste. We'll see you soon.